Hello all.
Okay.
Can you all hear me okay?
Yeah.
So I think you Google.
Probably yes in the chat, that'd be great.
We did that thing, when we went to deliver the hampers and we made like a map and we put the postcodes in and they came and went with us.
Yeah, but because there's 70 of them, so you don't know which one.
Thank you, Ben. So, good morning. Welcome to Know Your Sales. We've got 3 minutes to wait for others to join in, so just wait for those people if they're coming on board. So please chat amongst yourselves, share your business cards in the chat, and we'll get started very shortly. Thank you. I'll give you a shout. It's only 2 minutes. Not long to wait. We enjoying the conference so far? Oh, and by the way, grab yourself a cuppa or a water or something. I think we've got everybody here, so we'll make a start. So, good morning, my name's Phil Morton. Welcome to Know Your Sales. If you think this is about boating and windsurfing, you're in the wrong group, I'm afraid. This is about how to engage with your customers and clients from the start to finish. So, I'm Phil Morton, Business Development Management. That's my business that was set up in January last year. So, I've just hit my first year. Woo! So the journey I've been on has not been one of the easiest, and my background is mainly in charity fundraising, which I started doing on behalf of a Sheffield charity, PCA Sheffield, head of fundraising for around about 4 years, and that was about developing relationships and building confidence and trust with my clients and customers to support the charity. From then on, I actually became aware that I could turn my skill sets to business rather than on a charity basis, and start working with different companies in Sheffield. And that's kind of a bit of a background. So from then on, I started to pull deals through that I wasn't expecting, in quite honestly. But that's a bit about my journey. So we'll go through the presentation this morning. If you have any questions or if you want to have a conversation, please feel free to do so in the chat. Ask any questions that you like, and I'll pick up on those and we'll crack on. So, first, let me introduce you to my client, Plan Grow Do. So, like I said, I'm freelance business development management. I work with over 15 different clients at the moment, trying to develop their business, which time-consuming is key. It's actually an issue that I've been working with quite a lot. So I started to do a time management course online. Now, a bit of a story behind that is that obviously this is the new norm of the platform, Zoom, Teams, etc. So I went on this Zoom meeting for time management. Sat here just like you are now. I could see all the other delegates sat in the room. The course starts at 12 noon, and at 10 past 12 the trainer turns up. It's a time management course. What on earth? Why would he turn up at 10 past 12? Basically, his first introduction was, I'm not going to apologise for being late, but how did that make you feel, that I turn up late to a time management course? Now imagine that you are that client that sat there waiting for your meeting to turn up. So now you've got this time management person straight in front of you who's not apologised one bit, but I actually thought, you know what, I can see how that would make me feel. So my philosophy is always be early, or at least be on time. So time management, if you haven't took the course, I suggest going on it. Working with 15 clients and trying to find the time to do that is important. So Plan Grow Do. Modern sales training course provider based in the Sheffield area. So they've been doing this now for over 12 months. And they've had a massive success on the turnaround of the trainees. The feedback that we've had has all been positive. It's been an amazing course. I've done it myself, and it's a very interesting course. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today, of how that kind of develops you as a business and as a person. So over the last 12 months, I've seen 500 plus trainees take the course, and I've received overwhelming feedback. The feedback form I'm going to try and put into the handouts so you can see exactly what people are saying about the course. And in certain times, there is a way that we need to approach sales now and beyond the pandemic. So if you've got a product or service that you've been helping people to recognise and wanting to use and utilise, you've probably been doing that face-to-face for many years. Your digital side, you've been putting websites up, helping with social media, etc. But now there's more of a need to be digital rather than physical. So if you're selling a Hoover, they say, oh, it's really quiet. You can't really demonstrate that on a Zoom call. But what you can do is show them the effects of how that Hoover works. That's what we do. We adapt, we change. The only way we can do that is by uncertain times cause different measures. And that is listen, learn, and then adapt. So, who is your ideal client? And a lot of people will say, well, everybody, anyone. So everybody's your ideal client, of course. Let's face it, you can sell your product to anyone. That man or woman you have just met on the street needs your product. What about the 85-year-old in a nursing home? They need your product. Everyone needs what you have to offer. Wrong. Not everybody is your ideal client. And the way around this is to find and pinpoint your ideal client. So you're not going to sell a laptop to someone at 85-year-old and ask them to use the internet, because what's the point? That's not your ideal client. Or you're not going to try and sell a skiing trip to someone who wants a water event, or a beach. So rights and wrongs. Not everyone is your ideal client. That's right, not everyone is your ideal client. Try and work out who that person or that business is. That's where your research is key. So you wouldn't try and sell a brand new spanking car to someone who cannot drive. You wouldn't. What's the point? Why sell a skiing trip to someone who has a fear of skiing? It's no brainer, really. You're not going to try and sell a skiing trip if you don't like the idea. And that diver who wants a deep sea experience, who has no desire to fly around the world in 80 days. He's just told he wants deep sea experience, or they've just told he wants a deep sea experience. So you're not going to try and sell them something they don't want. Don't try and sell them a product that they're not going to use or need. Instantly you've gone to turn off. You've just switched off. Wrongs. Richard Branson was born a billionaire and never once looked who his ideal client is. Of course it's wrong. He's a billionaire for a reason. He's put himself in a situation where he knows who his ideal clients are, or at least his team does. He never cared about who he's selling to. Wrong. He always cares about who he's selling to because he wants to have that sale. Without it, he should be selling to people who really don't want it and end up breaking the contract or never wanted to use a service. Never once did he think training was important for him or his staff. Again, he's got to train his staff to be able to know what the product is that they're trying to sell in the first place. So by having the training behind him, he's got all his staff working from the same process. Got where he is today by pure chance. I don't believe that for a second. I believe Richard Branson put all his effort and time into his business to make it successful. So, places to find your ideal client. So, a bit of an interaction for you. What would you say, and I know that we've just gone through this with Jason Yearwood, would be your ideal place to find your client? Where would you look? What's your go-to platform or process? Email marketing, social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? Where would you look for your ideal client? So networking. B2B, not just in your group, but try others. Just because you're trying to keep recommendation by networking. Thank you, Amber. She's right. Recommendation by networking. It's not about the person that you're in front of right now. It's about the people who they know in the room. So if you've got a website designer and you're looking for someone who does graphic design, you can almost guarantee that website designer will know someone who does graphic design because they've been involved with that person to help them develop a website. Photography. A photographer won't just do standard plain lone photography now. He'll know someone or she'll know someone that does drone photography, aerial photography. There's always someone behind somebody. And it's not a connection they can make straight away. It's a connection that will come eventually, or through LinkedIn, or like Amber says, recommendation by networking. So LinkedIn, it's a very powerful connection tool. Think of it as another website. Judy Parson recently attended a networking group that I hold on a Tuesday morning. And Judy Parson is the LinkedIn lady. So she basically told us that think about LinkedIn as being another website, another platform that you can interact with people. It's not just about building connections, it's about how you build that relationship and that trust between you and them. Google search. Do you just look at page 1? What about the others on business on other pages? Oh yeah, we forget about those. There are probably 100 other pages on Google that you've just searched. So a graphic designer in your area will hit the first page. Great, that's where they want to be. But what about those on the back end? What about those who are the smaller business who want to be seen, want to be known? You know, how about talking to them about your business, giving them a chance, helping them to progress, and you progress together. Facebook, it's just a social media platform, right? If you think that way, then it is what it'll always be. 45 million UK users on Facebook. How do you attract those people to your page, or to your business, or to you? And it's engagement. Without the engagement, you won't have anybody coming back to you and saying, you know, I need your services, I need your product. So engage with the people that you don't already know. Watch out for the spammers and scammers. But just be aware that 45 million UK users could be on your pipeline. You just don't know. But not everybody is your ideal client, remember that. So it's not 45 million users will automatically want to buy your product. Instagram, great platform for showcasing your product with pictures and a brief message. Now, I'm not an advocate of Instagram. I don't use the platform as much as what I should. And I've been told this many a time by people. And it's something I need to look at doing more of, hence time management. So Twitter, tell us in 280 characters about you, not necessarily your business, because people still buy from people. And you should know that. You know, people do buy from people. If you've got a built relationship and trust in somebody, they'll buy from you. They'll keep coming back to you because you're that trustworthy person. You've got the relationship already built. Why wouldn't they? Why would they go to your competition? If you're giving them what they need, they won't need to look elsewhere. So you have to earn both knowledge and trust. And that's a way that you can do it through LinkedIn. So, end of part 1. So where does it all begin? Part 2, of course. So your sales journey, how does that look? Thank you, Georgina. I've yet to experience Instagram and work with it, so bear with me on that one. I might just ask you for a few pointers later on. So, the Unreal timeline. I love this. This was actually shown to me by someone else. And the Unreal timeline is initial email and contact on day 1. Reply received and the customer client is interested, also in day 1. Return email and the customer wants a quote, day 1. Customer client receives the quote and wants the deal at that price, day 1. We have a deal and sign the deal contract. The customer client has agreed to more contract work, day 1. So you've got a sale from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. just by email. Instantly, click, sale, done, fantastic, close, sustainable work. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. And as far as I know, it still isn't finished. That's an unreal timeline for any sales. In the real world. So before we go into the real world, let's have a little bit of a look at that back slide. So if you want a laptop, for instance, I know keeping back to laptop is something everyone uses and needs. So we go to a laptop. Where do you look for said laptop? You'll probably look at Argos first. It's actually 9 a.m. start. By 10 a.m. you're fed up looking at laptops. By 10:30 you're bored. You know? By 11 o'clock you're trying to think value for money, price, where can you get it from, time factors, you know. So that is going to be a one-off sale because it's already there. If you think of that as a website, would you really do that for your website and say, right, I know X company, so today I'm going to contact X company, and by the end of today, I'm going to have our website sewn up and ready to go. Fantastic. It's unreal. It's not going to work. So you've got to build that relationship, that rapport, find out about who you're working with. And that's why that sale won't come in that day. So it's all about building the relationship. And that's what my business is all about, helping people to build relationships that are trustworthy and powerful. So it's not a cold lead. It's not a warm lead. It's quite a warm lead that I hand over. So on day one, this in the real world, and this it varies basically. It's not set in stone. So please don't take it as gospel. But this is kind of what I find from my own experience. So in day one, your initial contact made by email, phone, social media, etc. So you've opened up the conversation. But do you actually know you've opened the conversation yet? Or is it still a case of you've had a phone call, here's an email address, you've got past the gatekeeper to a point. You know, the gatekeeper's there for a reason. They're there to keep you out. And the only way you can get through the gatekeeper is by being you. Stop trying to sell as soon as you pick up the phone. Just try and have the conversation. You know, who deals with the cleaning contract? Oh, that'll be Janet. Is Janet available for a chat? Or, you know, is there an email address you can send to Janet? Yeah, of course you can. Gatekeeper kind of lessens off a little bit because you're not asking them, you know, or demanding to talk to. You're just asking them a nice, polite in question. Don't go in with a sales tactic of, we can save you money right now. The days of car salesmen and double glazing salesmen have gone. You know, we're in a different time factor now. We're into a point where you've got to have a personal touch with your clients and customers. So on day 7, you've got no reply. So follow up with a gentle email, phone call, or via social media. Find them on LinkedIn. Find the person you need to speak to. Send them an invite, connection request. I sent you an email, just wanted to connect, see if there's any interest at all. Would you like to take it further, basically? Not, I tried to send you an email, didn't reply to me. What the hell's going on? It puts me on the back foot. And a lot of people still do that. I still get emails and messages today saying, you didn't reply to my email. Well, you know, there's several reasons why I might not reply to your email straight away. Junk, spam, unfocused, you know, there's a number of reasons why. So a follow-up email is always nice and just gentle. So reply from suspect, and they're interested in what we have to offer. So at the minute, that person is a suspect. They're nothing sales-wise to you at the moment. They're a suspect. The reason they're a suspect is because they haven't actually said to you, yeah, all right, well, look at your product. You now need to tell that suspect why they should work with you, but not, again, in a sales way, in a gentle conversation about you and what makes you the person to talk to, the person to work with. So day 8, you'll send further detail. You know, on the same day as you get that through, you want to reply. Of course you do. You want to have that relationship start to build. On day 9, you try to arrange a meeting, and that's part of the process. You know, arranging one-to-one or face-to-face is really important. By day 9 or day X, you arrange a meeting. So the meeting starts to give you an idea of how you can approach that person, what you're going to talk about. Don't think that it's a sales meeting. If you go in there with a sales head on of you want my product right now, you need to buy this, this is where we're at, this is what it costs, have a nice day. 9 times out of 10 you'll get thrown out or just not receptive to what you're saying. So going with the idea that you're trying to solve a problem. You know, if they've got a problem, how is your solution going to fit in with their problem? How are you going to resolve what they're trying to get over? And that's kind of, again, a relationship built. I spent 2 hours with a client recently, and we had an hour and 45 talking about golf and 15 minutes about business. I've got no problem for an hour and 45 minutes talking about golf. It was actually a conversation that I really enjoyed having, because right now we can't play golf. We're not allowed due to COVID and everything else. Plus, the fact it's snowing. You ever try playing golf in snow? Don't work. Unless you got orange golf balls, which don't work either, because my shot ends up being lofted and then can't find a ball at all. It gets buried. So have the conversation. Be free about what you're talking about. Don't look at it as being a sell. Look at it as being an opportunity to give them a solution to their problem. It's a problem solved. So conversation continues and more details are given with regards to work that you'll be doing for the client. Time to analyse. Analyse what they've said, listen to what they've said and learn from what their problem is. The more you've got the chance to solve their problem, the more the solution becomes apparent and you can see a clear view of what it is they're asking you. The other thing your client is concerned about is the price. Of course, we're all concerned about price. Right now, money is key to everything. Our business can't survive without it. We have to have sustainable clients. We have to have that back-end marketing strategy. We have to have an idea of what it is that we're doing right now. So your client's concerned about price. Don't be the one that's cheap. Cheap doesn't always work, and I found that out myself. So you both agree on a price that suits you and the client. Close the deal. Yeah. It sounds so easy to do, but it's probably the hardest thing that you're going to do because they may want to reinvestigate part of what you're saying or what you're doing. They may want a contract that needs to be written up first, but you've already got kind of the offer on the table. So think of it as an opportunity rather than I don't know whether I'm going to do this or not. They're asking too many questions. Follow it through. The more you follow through, the more chance you've got of closing that deal. So your job is done. You have the opportunity, you have the deal, but there's still more opportunity. What do I mean by that? Look at the sustainable side of things. It's not a one-off sales hit that you're after. You're after a sustainable income from this person or this company. So you're looking at a sustainable flow of work that's going to help you to keep afloat. So you've got constant work throughout. Your client's going to respect that because they're going to look at you and go, you know what? I've got a relationship. I've got rapport. I've built this. We've done it. Let's keep it going. So hopefully you can have that opportunity. If you're both happy with the deal, payment. The most important part of that closed deal is your payment. Because now you've got the deal signed, you've got the money in the bank, and it's a win. Yeah? There's no way around it. It's a win. Plan, Grow, Do. So as I mentioned, Plan, Grow, Do are one of my clients, and this is kind of where all my knowledge has come from with the sales training side of things. So they run something called a SPANCOP, which is suspect, prospect, analyze, negotiate, close, opportunity, and payment. The SPANCOP is where your sales funnel will come into play. If you don't know where your buyer is on their journey, there's a fair chance that you're not going to get anywhere in that conversation or that process of selling to that person or to have them as one of your clients. So SPANCOP and a sales funnel is important. So I was reading what Georgina's put. Exactly. Yeah, you don't need to do the hardcore sales pitch. That's what all this is about. You want to be the exception to the rule. You don't need double glazing right now. Yes, you do. Yeah. It's cold. Yeah, it's cold outside. We need double glazing. But do you need it now or do you need it next week, next month, next year? That's where your double glazing salesman will come to you and try and do the hard pitch, or they used to. Things have changed. So your SPANCOP will give you an idea of how your buyer's journey looks. You will know exactly where each of your buyers are on their journey. So if you imagine a funnel that's open right now and your customers are teetering on the edge of coming into the top of that funnel, you then need to follow it through with SPANCOP. So that person that you don't know at the minute or that you're trying to get in front of is a suspect. Right at the very top, they're always a suspect. Unless you've got that key introduction where it's a very warm lead, they'll always remain a suspect until you start the conversation. A prospect is a person or company that actually wants to know more about you, know more about your business. So they'll be talking to you. So that's a prospect. Analyze. You analyze the deal that's in front of you, that's on the table. Analyze a problem that you're trying to solve. Analyze a solution. Analyze the time factor, the time restraints. What's it going to take? Negotiate. The pricing's wrong. You need to look at the pricing. It's either too cheap or too expensive. Majority of the time, it's too expensive. People always try and talk you down. If you're keen and confident that you can get through that deal with that one price in mind, no need to negotiate. If it's a set in stone price that you've got, then you tell your client exactly that. Don't ever skimp on price if you can help it. There's no reason to do it. Even if you just drop a tenner off, you're losing £10 that is your bread and butter. Closing a deal is, like I say, at times can be easy, but it's also one of the hardest to do as well. Opportunity to work with them more. Look at the opportunities of what could open up. All right, so you sold them a laptop, fantastic. But Jane hasn't got a laptop next door, but she can't have the large all singing, all dancing. She wants a cheaper machine. You've got that. So try and talk to them about what you can offer. Opportunity. Payment. We like to get paid. We do like to get paid. And there are ways of approaching that as well in a gentle way. So why not use it? By having these in a sales funnel, you can track the buyer every step of the way. It's simple as that. That's what you're doing. You're looking at the conversation, you're looking at the relationship, how it's building. And that's your sales funnel. Every one of your customers should be in your sales funnel somewhere. Thanks to Plan, Grow, Do and the modern sales training course that they provide, I know I know where every one of your clients' customers are in the journey that I've created on your behalf. So I said at the beginning, I work with 15 different clients, and I know where those sales processes are right now. So I know where the customers sit in that sales funnel, and the majority of them at the moment are on the analyze stage. So there's a lot of work coming through. For more info on the modern sales training approach, contact me. More happy to have a chat and tell you more details about it. There's much more to learn, and there is. The course itself lasts for 3 weeks, with 1 day a week and 3 hours per day. It's 9 hours training. So it's an intense course about how you would look at your sales. So the modern sales training course would normally be £650 per person plus VAT, and they've got a special offer on during the pandemic of £200 plus VAT per person. The reason I've done this, and the reason I'm showing you this now, is because they've actually done what they said not to do. But they're doing it for a reason. Because we are still in a pandemic and businesses are still struggling financially wise, they want to help people to grow. So they've reduced their costs massively to help businesses like you or people that you may know to grow in a nice way. We've always had positive feedback, and some of the customers that we work with and clients we work with have actually said how important the sales training is and what they didn't know. So, I love those curtains. The only time that success comes before work is in the dictionary. I heard that on a film fairly recently, and I actually sat and thought, do you know what? That actually resonates really well with me. I don't expect success to happen overnight unless I put the work in, and I've put the work in. And I'm not blaming on trumpet. I really have put the work in to get where I am. Because without it, I wouldn't have picked up 15 clients in the pandemic. You know, I started out with 1 in January 2020. I've now got 15 in February 2021. That's a lot of clients to put through on the training, even for me to kind of cope with time management wise. So success is there, but it has to come before, you know. So thanks for listening. And this is me. My details are there. I've taken the course. What you're waiting for, such a great price. This wasn't ideally for this section. I don't know why actually it's sat in there, but it is. But yeah, it is a great price at the minute. And the courses are available to anybody and everybody, whether you're in sales or business. You know, if you're looking for a new approach or a fresh approach to how things look right now, you know, it's worth a shot. My tagline is keeping business local and keeping locals in business. A lot of the time I find now that we're buying from overseas, or we're buying outside of our own city and essentially our own location. You know, if you've got someone who can help you locally, why not use that company? Help build that economy back up from what it is or what it was to what it is. You know, we've gone a different way now. We've kind of destroyed the economy in some respects, but it's now time to build it. And the only way we can build that is by sharing the business. So if you can keep your business local, perhaps that supermarket at the end of the road may be all right. What about the smaller guy, the corner shop? Is he all right? Are they all right? Perhaps it's worth a shot, keep it local. So, that's basically me. Is there any questions from the group or anything that you think needs to be covered or you'd like to know about? I could waffle on a bit more if you like. The course itself does actually, while people are typing if they are, you would also get a workbook with the course as well. I'm not here to sell it to you. It's just I'm trying to show you what worked for me. What I found was a vital tool to my business. Over the period that I've done this, the business development, I've actually found that the clients I'm working with, I know who their ideal clients are because I've done the research behind it all. I've put the time and effort in to find out who they are. Thank you, Lisa, for the comment. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you found the slides to give you some sort of knowledge and background. We can sit here all day and we can talk about sales. Am I right? Am I wrong? Only you and your business could tell you that. Use the tools you've got. Utilize what you have right now. And if Zoom and Teams is the new norm, embrace it. Network. Find out who you know and find out who you don't know. That's the most important part of networking. There's always someone behind that face or that business that may know someone that can connect you with. It's worth a shot. B2B. Never quite knew what B2B was all about, but I was so glad I took the plunge and found out. Thank you, Claire. Appreciated. So, any questions from the group? Any comments? Can you even tell me I'm wrong? I don't mind that. I'll see if I can pop a handout in. I'll see if I can pop a handout in there. Should do that one. Just give me 1 sec. Wow. Okay. It won't let me put a handout in. How weird. Probably my file's too big. I think when I was speaking to the guys earlier, I think we're all going to get email addresses anyway. So what I can do is I can pop you an email with the handout in. I don't know why it won't let me actually attach it. It says it's too big a file, and I've got no way at the minute of turning that down. Yep, I'll see if I can put a handout in there for you. Any other questions? No problem, Ben. Glad you enjoyed it. Thanks, Andrea. Thank you for the comments. So before I'll leave you to it, I'll let you go in a very short while. I did the Plan Grow Do training just before the pandemic. So we was actually doing it face to face, which seems strange right now to be doing this like we are in a Zoom in a conference, which I think is a fantastic opportunity. So face to face, it's basically run by two gentlemen called Rob Taylor and Steve Knapp, and they are your sales training group or team, if you like. When it's face to face, you've got a lot of interaction. There's a lot of conversation going across the table about who your ideal client is and the conversation behind your spank up and your sales funnel. And there's a lot of different opinions. Also in the course, see it as a networking opportunity as well, because you will go into breakout rooms where you can talk to other people. And all right, it's not the most interesting subject of sales because a lot of people can fall asleep through it. But this training, you wouldn't fall asleep through. Seriously, it's got a lot of interaction. It's got a lot of gusto behind it and a lot of positive feedback. And like I say, I'm not trying to sell you the course. It worked for me. And if it works for people like me, it could work for you as well. So I'm going to leave it there. Have a wonderful day. Have a great conference. If there's any other questions, I'll stay on the call. Happy to pick up on conversations. Do share your business cards. Apparently that's something that's a new feature. And I think you'll get a copy of the business cards that you've shared. So yeah, like Claire's just done, click on the little attachment at the bottom and share your business cards. I've recorded this session as well because my wife can't get in to see this. So yeah, I'll probably get told off later. I'm happy to take any questions, discussion, anything like that. If not, I'll disappear backstage and we'll go and mingle with the other crowds. Thanks again all for listening. I'll leave you to it. Have a great day. Have a great conference. And see you in the next group. Thank you very much. Bye for now.